Hey everybody, I'm Todd and I hope you're having a great day. Today I'm checking out a set of in-ear monitors from HIDIZS. They're the MS2 Pro. So let's do some tests and hear some audio. Now the MS2 Pro are targeted at a pro musician audience, but don't let the price fool you. After I spent some time with these, I have to say that both the performance and the build exceeded my expectations. Now all the audio in this review will be recorded using my binaural microphone, and so I encourage you to wear headphones to get the best experience. Now, we're not expecting these in-ears to provide a perfectly flat frequency response, and we do see some deviation here in the sine sweep test. But what we want is a comfortable experience that we can hear ourselves, we can hear reasonably accurately what we sound like without it being fatiguing over time. We're also looking for some isolation, and I can say that's pretty decent here too. So let's check out some music and hear how they sound. Now, after listening to a number of genres with these in-ears, I have to say that they provide a pleasing experience without being overhyped in the low, mids, or highs. And so they were not fatiguing to wear, whether it be classical, rock, even hard metal coming through, country, anything with pop. There was no hiss in the background that I could hear either. And we'll get to that when we get to the vocal test shortly. That'll give you a really good idea. So again, they're performing as I would actually expect a professional in-ear monitor to. And as always, I like to include these frequency comparison graphs so you can just see what sort of coloration that you might expect if you're going to wear these in-ears. And certainly we see the deviation. There's a roll-off in the top end. Now this is in alignment with the target curve that HIDIZS has used for these in-ears. So I'm getting exactly what I should be based on their specs, and I really like to see that. When a company provides an accurate representation of what I'm going to get, that to me is a real positive sign.
Polaroids all scattered across the dusty floor in the backseat of my Chevy 58, along with bits of candy wrappers. Looking back to when our castle was a shack, vacation was making figure eights in the parking lot. Remember when we used to forgive more than we forgot? Polaroids all scattered across the dusty floor in the backseat of my Chevy 58, along with bits of candy wrappers. Looking back to when our castle was a shack, vacation was making figure eights in the parking lot. Remember when we used to forgive more than we forgot?
If I wrote you a song, if I got every word perfectly weighted on a thin piece of paper, would it make any difference? Would it change for the better? If I wrote you a poem, if I posted a letter, if I wrote you a song, if I got every word perfectly weighted on a thin piece of paper, would it make any difference? Would it change for the better? if I wrote you a poem, if I posted a letter.
Now, while monitoring is important for all musicians, I really find it makes a difference for vocalists. You're going to get a better performance typically if you can hear yourself or if the vocalist can hear themselves clearly and providing an accurate representation. And for male vocal, absolutely, I'm going to say that things really didn't sound overhyped here one way or the other. Certainly the clarity was there, and this is again what I expect. Now, from the female vocal, again, I didn't notice any significant deviations in the sound. Clarity was very good. Resolution here is also excellent. So if you're a vocalist and you're looking for a set of in-ear monitors, these are going to give you a realistic idea of how you sound and inspire some confidence in your performances. And this is a sample of spoken words, so we can compare the sound of the recording directly versus the sound through the headphones. And this is a sample of spoken words, so we can compare the sound of the recording directly versus the sound through the headphones. Now, I see more and more voiceover artists and podcasters choosing in-ear monitors as a solution. But just like with vocalists in a music environment, hearing yourself accurately, providing a good representation can inspire a good performance. And when I listen back to spoken word on these in-ear monitors, again, they don't sound overhyped in the high end or the low end. There's good clarity and resolution in the mids here. And so if you're looking for an in-ear monitor solution for that application, these could be a really good choice. Now, I'm quite sure HIDIZS didn't think of gaming as the #1 application when they designed these in-ears. But the thing is, serious gamers are also about serious audio, and comfort is also a big factor. So let's check out and see if these can deliver on the sound that you need for gaming.
Save me! Human attack!
Now, I am by no means a pro gamer, but I did try them out with a variety of titles. And, the things I look for are immersion. I want an expansive environment, though, around me. I want clarity. I want to hear the fine details. If someone's sneaking up behind you and there's a crack of a branch or something, you want to pick that up. Positional awareness, and then comfort. And, for longer sessions, these are actually very comfortable. Now, I did also try their premium C Anemone ear tips over the ones that are built in, and they give even more comfort. So, if you want an in-ear solution and you're going to be, long sessions for hours and hours, that might be an option, but the included tips are very comfortable. So I would rate these as definitely an option for gaming. Now, one of the things I found with many in-ear monitors is kind of a lackluster performance for Soundstage and Imaging, but these actually deliver very well. I found the Soundstage to push outside of my head. That's really great to see here. And the imaging performance is also very good, both in just my listening as well as some objective tests that I did. So I would rate the imaging performance above average for in-ear monitors here, as well as the Soundstage more expansive than average for in-ears, really along the lines of some very good headphones. So taking a look at the build quality of these in-ear monitors, I have to say it's excellent. Everything here is very nicely finished, very smooth. This is all metal construction. They do come with pneumatic filters to change the sound profile. I'll throw that up on the screen so you can see the different options that you get. I did all my tests in this review with the stock setting that's on it. It also comes with a number of ear tips here, black as well as clear, 3 different sizes of each. I found those to be very comfortable, although they did send me their premium C Anemone ear tips to try out. And again, these, if you want to wear them for extremely long sessions, this is as comfortable as I felt. They are really good. Now, cable options, they are both braided, but you can choose either to get the unbalanced 3.5 millimeter or balanced 4.4 millimeter, and either type comes in either color. So a lot of choices there on the cable. Same thing actually with the in-ear monitors. These are the sunset orange, but they're also available in a royal blue and a black. So a little bit of personalization possible there. Now, if you want to go a step further, something they did send me was their S9 Pro Plus DAC. This uses a USB-C connection, comes with a USB-C to C cable as well as an A adapter. You can also get a lightning adapter, but it's not included here. And one of the great things about this is it works with Windows, Mac, iPhone, and Android, so a lot of choices there. Operation is very simple, volume up and down buttons on the side here. But the big thing here is you get the unbalanced and balanced output from this. So if you want to up your game a little bit on the DAC, that's a good way to go too. So overall build construction here is, I would say, superior for the price. Very well done. Now, I won't spend a lot of time reading features and specs to you. There'll be links available in the description below. On screen, you're going to see a number of the highlighted features and technology behind these in-ear monitors. But one thing I want to make you aware of is that these are very compatible with whatever you have. I tried them with a few different belt pack receivers, and they absolutely deliver. They drove it very easily. These in-ears did not hiss. Really something to me that's a big deal with in-ears. I also tested them with my monitor controller, a couple of other headphone amplifiers I had. And so, again, whatever you have, these in-ear monitors could integrate into your workflow. Now, of course, whatever you're listening to this review on, that's going to impart coloration on the audio examples I included in the review. But I always give you the original file and, in this case, the in-ears, so you can listen for the difference, to find out what sort of coloration to expect from these in-ear monitors. Now, I have to say that they're designed for pro musicians. My final thoughts on this is they absolutely are a good option there. They are more affordable than you would expect in many cases. A lot of times in-ear monitors, the prices get way up there for performance, but these really deliver. And if you've got an entire band to outfit, cost can start to become a factor, and these again are a great option there. I like some of the other options that they include, that you can have the different tunings that are attached directly to the in-ear. I like the variety of tips they provide. Cabling, if you want to use balanced or unbalanced, again, that's there, as well as the two colors. So some really great options there. The carry case is pretty basic for what these are. You know, you may want to use a hard case if you're on the road with them all the time, just to give them a little more protection. But there's really not a whole lot to complain about here. If you're in the market for an in-ear monitor for professional applications, these are absolutely worth a look. And if you're looking for something just a little better than your average earbuds, these are going to far outperform that for casual listening. So overall, would I recommend them? It's a thumbs up. And if you're interested in other ideas, whether they're in-ear monitors or headphones, check out one of the videos on the screen. I really appreciate you joining me today. Have a great week, everybody, and I'll see you next time.